આજના આપણા ટોપિકની અંદર બીકોમની અંદર આવતું ચેપ્ટર પ્રોફિટ પ્રાયર ટુ ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન એના વિશે આપણે ચર્ચા કરવાના છીએ, જેની અંદર બેઝિક ટર્મિનોલોજી, બેઝિક કન્સેપ્ટ અને પ્રેક્ટિકલ હિસ્ટ્રી. તો પ્રોફિટ પ્રાયર ટુ ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન લર્નિંગ પોઈન્ટ્સમાં ટર્મિનોલોજી અને બેઝિક કન્સેપ્ટ છે અને પ્રેક્ટિકલ પ્રોબ્લેમ છે. તો આપણે ટર્મિનોલોજી અને બેઝિક કન્સેપ્ટ સાથે આગળ. Meaning, when a running business is take over before the date prior to its incorporation or commencement, the profit on up to the date of incorporation in case of private company and commencement in case of public is known as pre-incorporation profit. Means કે જ્યારે કોઈ રનિંગ બિઝનેસ, કોઈ કંપની એનું ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન સર્ટિફિકેટ આવે અથવા તો બિઝનેસ કમેન્સમેન્ટનું સર્ટિફિકેટ આવે એની પહેલાં બિઝનેસ એને પરચેસ કરવી જોઈએ. તો જે ડેટના બિઝનેસ પરચેસ કર્યો મીન્સ કે ફ્રોમ ધ ડેટ ઓફ બિઝનેસ પરચેસ ટુ ધ ડેટ ઓફ ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન ઓર ધ ડેટ ઓફ કમેન્સમેન્ટ. ડેટ ઓફ ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન આપણે જોવાની હોય પબ્લિક લિમિટેડ કંપનીમાં એન્ડ કમેન્સમેન્ટ ડેટ જોવાની હોય પબ્લિક કંપની. ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન ડેટ પ્રાઇવેટ લિમિટેડ કંપનીમાં, કમેન્સમેન્ટ ડેટ આવે પબ્લિક કંપની. તો એ જે પ્રોફિટ છે એ પ્રોફિટને કહેવામાં આવે પ્રોફિટ પ્રાયર ટુ ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન. The same is treated as a capital profit since these are the profit which have been earned before the company came into existence. કેપિટલ પ્રોફિટ છે કારણ કે કંપની એક્ઝિસ્ટન્સમાં આવે એની પહેલા એને પ્રોફિટ અર્ન કરેલો છે. It is treated as a capital profit. In short, profit earned between date of business purchase and date of incorporation or commencement is termed as pre-incorporation profit. Example द्वारा આપણે સમજીએ ને, X Limited was incorporated on 1st April 19. Took over the running business of XYZ Limited from 1st January 19 and it closed its account on 31st December 2019. તો અહીંયા એક્સ લિમિટેડે XYZ કંપની છે ફોર્મ પાર્ટનરશિપ એનો રનિંગ બિઝનેસ પરચેસ કર્યો છે. પરચેસ ડેટ છે એનું 1st જાન્યુઆરી, પણ કંપનીનું ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન થયું છે 1 એપ્રિલ. કંપનીના બુક્સ ઓફ અકાઉન્ટ ક્લોઝ થાય છે 31st ડિસેમ્બર. So now the X Limited is entitled to the profit loss made by XYZ company from 1st January to 31st March. So 1st January to 31st March, before incorporation of the company, the 3 months of profit on Tuesday. Once the profit loss earned by XYZ company from 1st January to 31st March is known as pre-incorporation profit. If there is a loss, then it is known as a pre-incorporation loss. Next term આપણે જોઈએ ટ્રીટમેન્ટ ઓફ પ્રી ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન પ્રોફિટ. અહીંયા આપણે જે પ્રી ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન પ્રોફિટ આવે છે એને કંપની એના બુક્સ ઓફ અકાઉન્ટમાં કેવી રીતે એની ટ્રીટમેન્ટ મતલબ તેની અસર આપે છે. The profit earned by the company for the pre-incorporation period is of capital nature and it is not available for the distribution as a dividend to shareholders. તો pre-incorporation profit છે આપણો કેપિટલ પ્રોફિટ છે. કેપિટલ પ્રોફિટમાંથી આપણે ડિવિડન્ડ ડિસ્ટ્રીબ્યુશન ના કરી શકીએ. તો એનો યુઝ ક્યાં થઈ શકે? The such profit are utilized for the writing of overvalued assets. Sometimes company may record the overvaluation of assets or due to reduction of market price. The asset value recorded in the balance sheet is above the market price. So overvalue reduced so as to make them at present cost. Or in writing of intangible assets like goodwill, discount on issue of shares and debentures, preliminary expenses, etc. Means કે પ્રી ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન પ્રોફિટનો યુઝ કઈ જગ્યાએ થાય? તો એનો યુઝ થઈ શકે કે તમારા બેલેન્સ શીટની અંદર જો અસેટ તમે ઓવરવેલ્યુડ કરી હોય તો રિડ્યુસ કરવા માટે કરી શકો છો. કોઈ ઇન્ટેન્જિબલ અસેટ્સ છે લાઈક ગુડવિલ્સ છે એન્ડ રાઇટિંગ ઓફ પ્રિલિમિનરી એક્સપેન્સીસ છે, ડિસ્કાઉન્ટ ઓર ઇશ્યુ ઓફ શેર્સ એન્ડ ડિબેન્ચર્સ છે, આનો આપણે રાઇટ ઓફ કરી શકીએ. Thus, if surplus, if any, after writing of this, if any, transfer to capital. Next, what is the treatment of pre-incorporation loss? If company on the pre-incorporation loss, the loss is incurred for the period prior to incorporation will be considered as a capital loss, and such loss is added to the amount of goodwill paid on the acquisition of business. Means when the company purchased the business, company paid the purchase consideration to the vendor मतलब के seller of business. So at the time of payment of business, maybe the purchase consideration is higher than the net asset takeover by the company. If purchase consideration is paid above the net asset value, then it will be treated as a goodwill. So if company on the net loss before the incorporation, that net loss will be added to the goodwill of the business. Alternatively, the loss prior to incorporations may be written off against the profit of capital natures such as capital reserve, security premium, profit on forfeited of shares. So pre-incorporation loss, the treatment of pre-incorporation loss is either you can add it to the goodwill, or alternatively, if you have a capital profit, then you may write off pre-incorporation losses from such capital profit such as like capital reserve, security premium, profit on forfeited of shares, etc. Now our fourth point is allocation of income and expense to add certain pre and post profit. For the ascertainment of pre-incorporation profit and post-incorporation profit, we have to bifurcate all the expense and income into pre and post. What are the bases used for the allocation of income and expenses? Particular basis of apportionment. First is a gross profit. Gross profit is based on sales ratio. Generally, gross profit is bifurcated on the basis of sales ratio. Sometimes if in a question given, then on the basis of cost of goods sold, if specify the question. Second, administration expense like office expense, salary, rent, etc. These are the time-based expense. So that will be a portion on the basis of time ratio. Sales expense like carriage outward, discount allowed, advertisement, bad debt, etc. This is based on a sales ratio. For fixed expense, generally fixed expense based on a time, so it is based on time ratio. Variable expense, any variable expense based on sales ratio. Pre-incorporation expense like salary to manager or a partner of firm takeover, etc. So pre-incorporation period. Post-incorporation expense such as director fees, preliminary expenses, post-incorporation period. Pre-incorporation income like profit on sale of asset if any, that is treated as a pre-incorporation income. Post-incorporation income such as share transfer fee, profit on sale of asset in the post-incorporation period, etc. In a post-incorporation base. 10th point is an important point, interest on purchase consideration. Purchase consideration is a payment made by the company to the vendor of business. Vendor of business means seller of business. જેની પાસેથી આપણે બિઝનેસ પરચેસ કર્યો છે એને આપણે પેમેન્ટ કરવાનું હોય, અને પેમેન્ટ જો આપણે લેટ કરવાના હોય તો એના ઉપર આપણે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ પણ પે કરવાનું હોય છે, જેને કહેવામાં આવે છે ઇન્ટરેસ્ટ ઓન પરચેસ કન્સિડરેશન. That is known as the interest on PC, purchase consideration. So there are two situations. First, for the period from date of acquisition till incorporation date. मतलब કે તમે બિઝનેસ પરચેસ કર્યો છે ત્યાંથી ડેટ ઓફ ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન, that is known as the pre incorporation period. તો એટલો ઇન્ટરેસ્ટનો પોર્શન છે અને આપણે એને પ્રી ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન પીરિયડમાં ચાર્જ કરવો પડે. From the date of incorporation to the year end, मतलब કે જે ડેટના કંપનીનું ઇન્કોર્પોરેશન થઈ ગયું હતું, કમેન્સમેન્ટ થઈ ગયું છે ત્યારથી year end date સુધીમાં, that will be charged to post incorporation. Reserve for doubtful debt, RDD, or provision for doubtful debt, PFDD. Generally, reserve are created on the closing balance of debtor account. At the year end, any debtor left, maybe we make the provision if in next year when we collect the amount, possible that may certain debtors become insolvent and the part of the amount received from the debtors. In that case, we make the provision regarding the doubtful debt. So the provision made by the company at the year. So that is known as post-incorporation item. Quick review for all the expenses with example. Expenses Never in a company means these are the expenses not recorded in the post incorporation period by the company, like interest on capital, salary to partner, commission to partner. Now only in a company means it is a post incorporation item, like interest on debenture, salary to director, director fees, preliminary expenses written off, discount on issue of shares and discount the debenture written off, goodwill write off, donation by the company, company audit fees, provision for tax, etc. Now certain expenses purely based on time, like salary, rent, rates, taxes, depreciation, interest on loan, overdraft, miscellaneous expense, sundry expense, etc., printing and stationery expense, telephone, postage, telegram, insurance premium, subscription, bread expense. Certain expense based on sales, means on sales ratio, like salesman salary and commission, carriage, outward, traveling expense, selling and distribution expense, bad debt and discount allowed, other expense, carriage inward, that is a pre-incorporation, means that is relating to purchase. So carriage inward, a portion on the basis of purchase value, discount on bill receivable, so discounting period, loss on sale of fixed asset investment, actual date, maybe a pre-incorporation, maybe a post-incorporation. Now provision for tax. Generally provision for tax is based on a net profit earned. So income minus expense, then we find the profit, that is known as a profit before tax. So pre-incorporation profit related to pre and post-incorporation basis on post. So provision for tax is based on profit before tax. Accounting for profit prior to incorporation. What are the procedures to record transactions of profit prior to incorporation in the books of company? So these are the procedures. First, prepare the trading account from the date of purchase of business to the last day of the accounting year and find the gross profit for entire period. मतलब કે ફર્સ્ટ આપણે ટ્રેડિંગ અકાઉન્ટ બનાવશું કે જ્યાં આપણે ફૂલ યરનો ગ્રોસ પ્રોફિટ કેલ્ક્યુલેટ કરશું. Now the second, calculate two ratio, time ratio and sales ratio. How we calculate time ratio and sales ratio, that will be learned on later slide. Prepare columnar profit and loss account. The format will be discussed in the next slide. Consider the effect on any special condition like increase in rate of GP, change in price, etc. Fifth, transfer profit before incorporation to capital reserve or may use for writing of goodwill and preliminary expenses. In case of loss, if any, it should be debited to goodwill or adjust in capital profit. And last, transfer profit after incorporation to profit and loss account to be used for paying dividend and other appropriations. These are the procedures in the book of company. How we calculate the time ratio? Let we understand on the basis of example. The ratio of number of months before incorporation and the number of months after incorporation is known as a time ratio. So meaning of time ratio is a number of months before incorporation and number of months after incorporation. Look at the example. X Limited was incorporated on 1st April 2019. Took over the running business of XYZ Limited on from 1st January and it closed its account on 31st December. So X Limited purchased the XYZ Limited company on 1st January. The date of acquisition is our 1st January. Date of incorporation is 1st April and accounting year end date is 31st December. In the above example, the time ratio is 3 months and 9 months or 3:9 or 1:3. Just look at the example in detail. Time ratio, how we calculate? 1st January, that is our date of acquisition. 31st March, is the date of incorporation. 31st December 19 is the year and date. Now between 1st January to 31st March, 3 months. This is known as the pre-incorporation period. From 1st April to 31st December, 9 months. This is known as the post-incorporation period. So in a pre-incorporation period, time ratio is 3 months is to 9 months, or say we can say 3 is to 9, or we can say 1 is to 3. This is the time ratio. Now sales ratio. The sales ratio is ratio of sales before incorporation and sales after incorporation. मतलब sales ratio is nothing but the ratio of sales between pre-incorporation and post-incorporation period. Look at the example. For the example, total sales for the year is 100 lakh. If sales between January and March is 30 lakh and between April to December 70 lakh. The sales ratio is simply 30 is to 70 or 3 is to 7. Let's be take in details. 1st January is the date of acquisition. 31st March date of incorporation equal to 1st April. 31st December year end date. Month 1st January to 31st 3 months. 31st January to 31st December 9 months. The total sales between 1st January to 31st December is 100 lakhs. So pre-incorporation period sale is 30 lakh. Post-incorporation period sales 70 lakh. So the sales ratio is in a pre-incorporation period 30 lakh and post-incorporation period is 70 lakh. So we can say sales ratio is 30 lakh into 70 lakh or 3 is to 7. These are the sales ratio. This way we can calculate the sales ratio. Now the format of profit and loss account or a statement showing the pre-incorporation profit and post-incorporation profit is as follows. The format is particular amount basis, like maybe a time ratio, maybe a sales ratio, maybe a actual, maybe a pre, maybe a post. And the pre-incorporation amount, post-incorporation. Starting from income, we record the all income here, like gross profit and other income, and deduct the expense. After deducting expense, we find the difference if profit in a pre-incorporation is transferred to capital reserve and in post-incorporation profit. This is known as net profit. These are the basic concepts which we already learned in this chapter. In the next lecture, we will start a practical question on the basis of this format and this concept. Today's lecture is completed. Thank you.